everybody, welcome back to Zindee. Today we're going to actually do a few different projects. We're going to do a couple different methods working with 3-inch acrylic circles today, and we're going to kind of do a sports ball theme, okay? So we're going to use loose glitter, we're going to use transparent glitter adhesive, metallic vinyl, regular vinyl. So let's jump in and we'll just get started and we'll go from there. Okay, so first things first, we have our 3-inch acrylics. The acrylic designs we're going to make today, we're actually going to do a softball with softball glitter. How convenient. This is a pink opal vinyl. I already started weeding it, but not completely because I want to talk to you about settings a little bit. And then a 3-inch circle. We are going to do a basketball with orange soda glitter. And then we are going to do a volleyball with silver metallic glitter and also the transparent glitter adhesive. So the transparent glitter adhesive is just a really good way to get the look of glitter without actually having to use loose glitter if you don't want to. And then the other one we're going to do is a soccer ball, and we're going to be using the loose rainbow white glitter. And we're going to use UV resin today. I really like epoxy resin whenever you're doing tons and tons of keychains at one time. So if you have a large order, I totally recommend using epoxy resin over UV resin. But when you're doing onesies and twosies, it's a lot easier to do the UV resin over the epoxy. So let's get started, and let's actually start with the volleyball because that one doesn't need any UV resin and we can do it rather quickly. Okay, so this is the transparent glitter adhesive. I already weeded it, weeded, and added transfer tape. This is the volleyball. Now for this one, the way these cut files are made, you can save the inside and keep that part, or you can weed out those inside pieces and have just the outline. What I want to do today is really see that glitter behind, so we're just going to keep the outline. Okay, so for these cut files, if you go on the website, www.zindee.com, and just type in sports ball, you'll see the cut file will come up and it'll have all of these in there. The baseball, soccer ball, volleyball, basketball, all of that. And then the cut file is sized for a 2-inch acrylic, but with it being a circle, you can resize it to whatever size you need. So for these 3-inch acrylics, I resized them to 2.9 inches. Okay, so 2.9 by 2.9. That way I have a little bit of an edge around my acrylic so that when I seal it with UV resin, it has more to grasp onto rather than the vinyl going all the way to the edge. Okay, so here is our weeded volleyball. This is a silver metallic vinyl. To cut this, I cut it on a silhouette. The settings that I use to cut this silver metallic vinyl is actually the blade at 2, the force at 10, and the speed at 5. Okay, so this is specifically for a silhouette machine, blade at 2, force at 10, speed at 5. If you have trouble with it at that, you probably need a new blade, or you can always slow down your speed, okay? And bear in mind that metallic vinyls dull a blade very quickly. So if you cut a lot of metallic, you want to go ahead and get yourself a new blade because it'll dull your blade very quickly. Okay, so let's move this over here. Try to get it where you can see everything. Okay, so when you get your acrylics from us, they'll come with a cut file. The circle comes with a simple circle, but you can use things like this on it. Okay, and it'll have this brown protective paper. So we're going to remove that. And you want to try not to touch the acrylic if you can. It'll just help your vinyl lay flatter and not have any bubbles and all that jazz. Okay, so we're going to take our glitter first. Now this is the transparent glitter adhesive. This is the silver hollow one. Okay, the silver hollow looks exactly the same on both sides. Okay, the colored ones are going to be brightly colored on one side and then kind of still colored on the other, but have like a silvery sheen to them. Except for the gold one will be gold on both sides. Okay, so it'll be brightly colored on one side and you'll still see color on the other side, but it'll have like a silvery look to it. Okay, always whenever you're applying your vinyl to your acrylic, I like to slightly bend it like that, if you can see that. And then I want the middle to touch first, and then I'm gonna work my way out. And it's a good idea to get straight above your acrylic, so you're looking straight down at it. And then you're gonna place the middle and let it go like that. And you're gonna take your squeegee and you're gonna burnish from the middle out. All right, and then when you're removing your transfer tape, you don't want to just pull it up. When you pull it up, that's how you create bubbles too. You want to roll it down. That just helps the vinyl really stick where it needs to be and helps a ton with getting no bubbles. Okay, so there is our silver transparent glitter. Okay, we're going to turn this over. For this one, I'm going to put the glitter on the back and then the other part of vinyl on this side. Also, the nice thing about circles, there's not a front and back, so you don't have to worry when you're applying your vinyl if you're applying it to the right side. That doesn't always work, especially with detailed shapes, but for circles, squares, simple shapes, there's not really a front and a back. All right, we're going to take our decal, take our transfer tape, and I like to apply my transfer tape the same way. Slightly bend it, let the middle touch first. This is actually curving, so I'm turning this around. Let the middle touch first, and then just roll it down. Same thing, take your squeegee and burnish it from the center out. And then also when removing your transfer tape, you want to turn this over and you want to roll this backing down like that. That will also help with bubbles a lot. Okay, so we're going to take our acrylic back. We're going to bend it. And see where that hole is? I'm going to try to get lucky and have the hole not directly under the vinyl, if I can help it. Okay, apply that, burnish, and then same thing, we're gonna roll this down. Also be aware with metallic vinyls, such as this one, it's very easy to see bubbles. So if you see any bubbles, you can just put it in the sun and most of those will dissipate. But applying your transfer tape and rolling it down will help a ton. Okay, let's see if I can get a little closer. All right, so here is our volleyball. Okay, now, as you've seen, I applied my vinyl over the hole, which is completely normal. That's usually the best way to do it. This is a bead reamer tool. I'll have a link to it in the description down below. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna find that hole with this and basically just sand it. This is a great tool for doing this. We're going to do the same thing on this side. It's a lot easier to line up your vinyl and get it where it needs to be without cutting the hole. And then you can just go back with this and you're basically just sanding out the vinyl. All right. I'm going to take my X-Acto knife and get those pieces out of there. There we go. Same on that side. All right. So there is our volleyball acrylic. So again, this is just silver metallic vinyl, and then this is just the transparent glitter adhesive. The transparent glitter adhesive is completely permanent, waterproof, all of that, just like Oracle 651. So you can leave this as is, or you can go back and seal it, which we're gonna go back and seal all of these all at one time. But for now, let's go ahead and move on to the next one so you can see some other options. Okay, so I'm just gonna move this over here. And then let's work on our softball one, okay? And again, this particular vinyl is a pink opal vinyl. I absolutely love the opal vinyls. They're super cool. And you can see they kind of just reflect different colors. This is the pink one. Same settings for this one that I did for the silver metallic. Okay, so that's the blade at 2, the force at 10, and the speed at 5. I can't stress enough that it should be easy to weed. If it is not easy to weed, you really should just stop what you're doing. Don't get yourself frustrated and work on your settings. If you have good settings, then crafting in general, making stuff in general is a lot more fun and less stressful. Good settings will literally save your life, okay? So this is the outline. All right, so for this one, we're gonna mix UV resin and glitter together. All right, so, and again, it doesn't matter what side of the acrylic for this one because we are using a circle. But be aware, if you're buying some of our other shapes, it does matter what side of the acrylic you're on as to how you want to cut your vinyl. Okay, so we got that. We're gonna get our little cup. All right, so this is just a medicine cup. And then we're gonna get a silicone brush. And then the UV resin we're gonna use today is this one. I'll have a link down below in the description. I use a bunch of different ones. I like this one. It doesn't have a strong smell, but you'll still smell it. Any UV resin you'll still smell. So you always wanna take precautions and use protective gear. All right, and then this is our softball glitter. I'll open that up. And our glitters come with these little spoons, which makes it convenient. Okay, we're gonna do 1 spoon for now and mix it up and see what kind of consistency we get. There's really no right or wrong way for this, okay? So you're just gonna kind of add until you get to a consistency that you feel like you can work with well. Some people like it thicker or thinner. It just depends on your personal preference. Another way to do glitter is Mod Podge and then epoxy over it or UV resin over it. I really like the Mod Podge method, but this is quicker. All right, I like that consistency because it still moves well, so we'll be able to really move it around our acrylic like we like. All right, so we're gonna go a little closer so you can really get the full experience. All right, so there's our softball glitter, and I am just gonna dump this in the middle. And if you don't mix enough, don't worry, you can always mix more. I usually try to mix as little as possible because I just don't like wasting things. It's not my jam. So I tend to mix less than I need and then have to mix more, but that's okay. All right, and so from here, we are just going to move it to the side. And if you find it's too thick, you can always mix it straight on your acrylic too. Okay, from here, we're going to get our torch and pop any bubbles. And look at it from several angles and make sure you don't see any bubbles, because they do hide. Now that we got our glitter on with our UV resin, we're going to take our light and we're going to cure it for 3 minutes, okay? All right, so 3 minutes. And you can always touch your brush first to make sure it's cured, which it is. All right, so we have the one side of our acrylic. Okay, so before we go any further with that, let's go ahead and do the other ones. So this one will be the basketball, and we're going to use orange soda glitter for this one. Looks like that, and it's one of the holographic ones, which I love. I'm obsessed with holographic glitter, like so much, you guys, so much. Okay, so we're going to mix this. So again, UV resin. And then orange soda glitter. So pretty. This never gets old, you guys. I have a problem. Okay, so let's take our acrylic. We're going to take the backing off. Oh, also for sanding, a lot of people sand their acrylic with a fine, like a super fine grade sandpaper. You totally can do that. Like, it won't hurt at all. It'll only help. Like, it just gives it more surface for the epoxy or the UV resin to grip onto, but it's total preference. I don't ever sand, but that's just how I do it. There's no right or wrong way. You just got to do whatever works best for you. I totally recommend trial and error. Find out what works best for you personally and do that. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Do whatever makes sense for you and whatever you feel comfortable doing. But again, sanding won't hurt it at all. And as soon as you apply your glitter or your resin, you won't see the marks. So don't freak out if you think you ruined your acrylic by sanding it. You didn't. And same thing with this one. We're just going to pull it to the side. And this consistency is better. I like this consistency more than how I did with the yellow one. But some glitters mix better than others. Like the lighter colored glitters, you have to use way more resin for it to not feel like clumpy or anything. This one's nice and smooth. Another reason why I love the holographic glitters. I just feel like they're easier to work with. And you can go right up to the edge. You want to go right up to the edge because UV resin shrinks when you cure it. So if you don't go right up to the edge, or if you touch the edge of your acrylic a lot, you'll notice it's pulling away. So if that happens, you need to make sure you're getting right up to the edge and that you're using a good bit of UV resin. If you're not using enough, you're going to have, like, once it shrinks, you will see like the edges of your acrylic. Or if there's oils from your hands on your acrylic, the UV resin will pull away from that. But if that happens, you can just go over it, sand it a little bit, and put another layer. So it's pretty easy to fix. Same with the hole. A lot of people put different things inside to keep the hole clean. That's total preference. Whatever works best for you, do that. But naturally, the resin or the UV resin, epoxy or UV resin, won't want to go over the edge. You just don't want to push it over the edge. So right up to the edge without pushing it over. All right. And again, turn it a bunch. Look at it from different angles because those bubbles will hide from you so quickly. And always use a torch because that will help a ton getting those bubbles out. That's usually how you get micro bubbles. You know, like you don't see any bubbles, but you didn't torch it enough, then those little micro bubbles will come up. And it's also a good idea to let your acrylic rest a little bit before you cure it, because then it gives it time for those bubbles to kind of dissipate and come to the top. All right, so we're going to do the same thing with this one. We're going to get our UV light, we're going to put our brush under it with it, and we are going to cure this for 60 seconds 3 times, so 3 minutes. And this is a 48 watt light for reference. So if you're unsure, my light is a 48 watt and it cures in 3 minutes. All right, you guys, 3 minutes are complete. And again, you can always touch your brush first, make sure your resin's cured. That's just a really nice cheat way to not ruin your acrylic if it's not cured. Okay, so we are good to go. So here is our basketball. Okay, and then let's do one more, the soccer ball. And this one, we are going to be using rainbow white glitter. I love this one. It is so pretty. Like, you probably can't tell how pretty it is on camera, but it is gorgeous. Okay, so rainbow white glitter. Same spill. We're going to get our UV resin. And I believe this one mixes pretty well too. All right, we're going to get our UV resin and our glitter. And our glitter comes in bags. It used to come in bottles. These are the bottles that it used to come in. But now we package it in bags. You get a little more whenever you get it with the bag. So this is what our glitter looks like now. But we do sell these bottles empty on the website if you prefer having your glitter in bottles. But I will say the bags tend to be a little bit easier to store. So again, total preference. You do you, boo. All right. So there we go. Where can I put this so it doesn't fall? I didn't want to have to take it out. Okay, oh well. Got to. Okay, so we're going to take this off just like before. And then same thing, we're going to pour this right in the middle. Let me put you guys closer because this is like one of the best parts. I love watching the glitter spread. All right. Another tip, if using UV resin, you cannot use it outside or near a window. Any UV light that gets to it, it'll start curing right away. So just be aware of that. If you find your UV resin super clumpy or like getting clumpy as you work with it, it's most likely getting exposed to UV light. So no outside with this and no windows. Now you probably can see the rainbow a lot better in this rainbow white. It's a super pretty glitter. If you wanted this to be a really opaque white, the Mod Podge method would be a lot better. So it just depends on how opaque you want this. Or you could always use a white acrylic. Putting this on a white acrylic would make it very opaque. So I tend to like the Mod Podge method because I can get like really, really bold, vibrant colors, you know, like exactly what it looks like in the bottle, to come out on the acrylic. But the UV method works really well too. It mainly just depends on the look you want. And what you feel more comfortable doing. You know, some people hate the Mod Podge method and they aren't able to get it, you know, smooth. And other people hate this method. So, just depends. I love them all, honestly. All right, my dears. All right, we got our UV resin. Let me get my torch. This torch is just from Dollar General. Like, it was like in the checkout lane thing. But yeah, you can get a torch pretty much anywhere. Walmart, Dollar General, even in the cooking section. A lot of times they're by the registers though. Just getting those bubbles out. Same process. All right. One more for good measure. Okay, so we're gonna put our brush and then 3 minutes, and then we'll move on to the next step. All right, 3 minutes are complete. Checking the brush, we are good to go. And then we have our acrylic, good to go. All right, now let's go ahead and apply some vinyl. All right, so we'll go ahead and go with the softball first. We already got that, weed it. Let's add the transfer tape to it. The Caesar transfer tape that we have on the website is super similar to this one. Okay, again, we're gonna bend it, touch the middle, roll it down, squeegee, burnish, burnish, and then we are going to turn that over and roll that down. All right, we're gonna take our acrylic. We're gonna put the vinyl on the opposite side of the glitter. You can put it on the same side if you want. I just really like the three-dimensional look that you get on the opposite side. So pretty. All right, put that there. And again, try to get straight overhead of it. I'm trying to do that without putting my head in the camera. All right, squeegee. Roll it down. And we have a super cute little softball with the pink opal vinyl and the softball glitter. All right, let's do the same with the basketball. Okay, again, I know I am crazy about the cut settings, but I promise if you have good cut settings, all of this is so much more fun. These settings, this is just Oracle 651 vinyl, and these settings are blade at 1, force at 10, and speed at 5. And again, this is for a silhouette cameo. I am a silhouette girl, but Cricut's great too. I just personally really like silhouette. So most of my videos tend to have the settings and the information for silhouette over Cricut, but I am trying to include Cricut users. Okay, so we got our protective paper off, get our transfer tape, and same thing, middle out. Put that there. And I want it to be about like that. All right, so cute. All right, so basketball, softball. Okay, let's do the soccer ball. I'm gonna use the same transfer tape. Let's go ahead and weed this soccer ball. Super easy. This is also my favorite weeding tool, the ones that have the straight tip. It's called an all tip. I have that in our Amazon recommendations too, so I'll share that also. Oh, almost forgot this little sneaky one. All right, same thing. And you can reuse your transfer tape, but if you find yourself getting bubbles a lot, you might be reusing your transfer tape too much because it's not as smooth, you know, and it has like little dust or debris particles in it. So reuse your transfer tape for sure, but don't overuse your transfer tape. All right. All right, we got a soccer ball, softball, which could easily be a baseball, basketball, and volleyball. All right, from here, what I'm gonna do is actually seal the fronts real quick. I won't make y'all watch all of that. I'll do it very quickly, and then we'll come back and I'll show you that. I will show you applying resin directly onto this one, just so you have a visual of it. We'll cure those, and then I'll show y'all the finished products. All right, so UV resin straight on the acrylic. And don't be stingy with your UV resin. That's what really gives that glass look, that dome finish, is having a good amount. And you just want to start in the middle and pull it to the sides without knocking it off the edge. All right, you guys, I'm gonna torch it, cure it, and then we'll come back with the finished product. All right, my dears, let's recap. Okay, so this is the final volleyball. UV resin on top, silver metallic vinyl on top, and then on the back is the hollow silver transparent glitter adhesive vinyl. So here's the final outcome of that. This one is rainbow white loose glitter on the back mixed with UV resin. On the front, black Oracle 651 covered with UV resin. This one is softball glitter mixed with UV resin on the back. On the front, we have pink opal adhesive vinyl and then UV resin sealing it. And last but not least, our basketball on the back has orange soda mixed with UV resin, and on the front is the black Oracle 651 with UV resin sealing it. So here we go. These are our final products. Super pretty. These are also really easy to bring to craft shows and stuff. If you want to just put a name on it on site, you totally can do that. Hopefully this helps answer some questions. Also, to go over cut settings, Oracle 651 for a silhouette, we have the blade at 1, the force at 10, and the speed at 5. For the metallic vinyl and the glitter adhesive vinyl, as well as the opal vinyl, we have the blade at 2, force at 10, speed at 5. Keep in mind, with more complicated cuts and stuff, you might need to slow that speed down, and if you find you're still having trouble, change your blade, and that should help a ton. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope it was helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see y'all later. Bye.